should we not allow Africans, because that's where obviously all the elephants live, should the Africans not decide whether they want to hunt elephants or not? Because it's their resource, right? So are we living in a time where today that elephants are endangered? That's a good question to ask. Do you think elephants are endangered?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So they are technically on the endangered species list, okay? But every country in South Africa right now, you can't give an elephant away for free. Nobody wants elephants anymore. There's too many of them. Nobody has space for them. Botswana has the largest elephant population in the world, 130,000 elephants. Probably close to 150 to 180 because of the survey area. They've done a great job, but there's way too many elephants. Scientists recommend that there should be probably 50 to 60,000 elephants on the land. There's 130,000 of them. So then what do you do? You know, how do you empower people to, we've talked about wildlife a lot and conserving wildlife, but to conserve wildlife, you need to value wildlife. But if wildlife like elephant is destroying your villages and killing people and destroying your crops, and there's not much value there anymore. They just want them gone. Get rid of them, man.
Like the pigs in Holland.
Yeah, it's not a Western. It's a Western mindset of like, oh, protect the elephants.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we live with the elephants. The Botswanan president, Germany has been threatening to ban the import of trophies into Germany. I.e., if I kill an elephant in Botswana and I'm a German resident, I cannot bring the tusks or the hide or the skull back to Germany. That's what they want to ban. The Botswana president said, if you love elephants so much, you have them.
Yeah.
I'll send you 20,000. And let's see how you guys deal with them. And it exploded. It had like 2 billion hits.
Nice.
It went absolutely viral because it's the president of a country. Like, he may be joking, but he may not be joking. Like, he may stick, 25 elephants on a bee bomber and say, hey, landed in Stuttgart, and say, we're here, they're here. Where do you want them?
Here you go.
Just open it up.
Yeah.
So it's just, again, it's mindset. It's all mindset. Like, okay, you don't live with elephants. You don't understand the system. You don't live, you've never heard
of our business.
You've never
Really?
heard.
Come on.
Yeah, but you've never heard from a girl whose father got trampled by an elephant,
Right.
and now she's got to look after 6 of her siblings. Again, that's part of my job, to tell that person's story, to let everyone know about that person's story.
Nice.
To
And
tell
about
it.
that part.
Yeah, that part. Like,
Yeah.
elephants, the idea of save the elephants today, it's an archaic narrative. South Africa has too many elephants. Zimbabwe, too many elephants. Botswana, too many elephants. Namibia, probably at carrying capacity or over elephants. Mozambique, same thing. Tanzania, same thing.
How did that happen? Is it because of the whole can't hunt them, or how did all of a sudden they just like mass populate like
Because there's been a phenomenal emphasis on saving the elephant.
Okay.
From the early mid-90s through today. They went through a massive poaching crisis in 2009, 2010, 2011. Mozambique, Tanzania, everyone got hit. But now we've had 12 years of expansive growth of an elephant population. Elephants will grow at 3 to 4% of their population every year. So there's been protection. But at the same time, there's been a growing human population in Africa. Africa is going to have 5 billion people by 2050 predicted. So where in Africa used to be this, and even America, if you look back a lot longer, but used to be the sea of habitat with like islands of humanity. Now you've got the sea of humanity with these islands of habitat where you've got these wildlife areas that are being protected, whether it's a national park or an area that's protected for hunting. And so you've got now a very constrained area in which a smaller elephant population actually constrains that confined area. Now, you can't have, whether you believe the science or not, you can't have 1 million elephants in Africa anymore. There's 400 to 500,000 right now. I think we're over carrying capacity of elephants in Africa. There's obviously places that could take more, but in terms of the burgeoning human population, you've got to look at reality and say there's just no more space for them. And again, that's the same situation. So when we think about we want elephants for our kids and our grandkids one day, what's the most fundamental thing for elephants to be around for them to see? is to safeguard those islands, is to safeguard the habitat. The habitat is key. Without habitat, there's nothing, no wildlife anywhere. Well, who's protecting the most habitat in Africa? Hunting. It's 1.2 million square kilometers, I believe, of hunting habitat. I may have that number wrong, but the number I don't have wrong is that it's double the area of protected national parks in Africa.
Oh my gosh.
Through hunting.
Wow.
So get rid of hunting. Let's just throw it on the table. Everyone wants to get rid of hunting. They want to ban hunting. What's that going to do?
Yeah.
It's going to take the value away from all of that habitat and go, okay, we're out. And if they're out, what's going to replace it? It's not going to just be like, oh,
Yeah, totally.
it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's going to be fine. No. People are going to move in.
Yeah, condos are going to be put up.
Cattle, more
Yeah.
likely.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Cattle, more likely in rural Africa. But yeah, condos, avo farms in Kenya. But it's going to be goats and sheep and cattle and things that compete with wildlife. You know? Condos.
I mean, we'll throw up some condos, a couple condos. It depends on where, right?
Yeah, but I think that's what's a huge misconception about hunting is that there is so much. People always want to say follow the science or follow the money, right? And so it's like there's so much that goes into the amount of animals that can be actually killed or that you can go and hunt, where it's not just this free for all.
Right.
And a lot of and you're always paying unless you're on some. In the early days of Cam, you're going out into like the wild west by himself,
Right.
being like taking it way back in time in the sense of like true like hunter-gatherer type era. But people have this like false narrative, and I don't know if it's because of lack of education or lack of research or just being super naive to it and not wanting to do the due diligence of what is required in the hunting space, where not only are you providing for certain villages, certain towns, for them to be able to essentially live, and be able to go in there because 8 tags or 9 tags, 200 at 250,000 a pop, you know?
Sure.
Or then you have this elephant situation going on where it kind of is one of those things where I look at it like it's the circle of life. Like, it's not that we're trying to wipe out animals and have zero. It's more along the lines of everything is documented with data and how much animals are on this specific space or in this state or in this country, and then which then goes to the allowance of being hunted.
Yeah, I don't know if people are ignorant or they're just not doing their due diligence. I think they're also being a little bit, we've never had a voice. Like hunting's never really had a narrative voice of like, this is what it is. The only voice that's been out there has been the anti-hunting, animal rights, animal ethics.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All negativity.
It's all negativity.
All negativity.
Nobody's ever bothered to be like, and again, I understand why the hunting community hasn't done what we've done, because it's not quote unquote sexy, right?
It's not at all.
For hunters, what we do is not sexy. They want to see the hunt. They want to see the kill. They want to see that. That's what the hunting community wants. I get it. We don't film hunts. We're not interested in that. We want to show all of this. That is really not. Again, it's not sexy for the hunting community.